All right. Yeah, I'm live. Check, 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 check. Microphone check. One, two. What is this? Um, yeah. Um, there's nobody on right now, but I figure I would do this live. and yeah, if people show up, then I'll be able to talk. I'm not doing it on Streamyard, so I'll need to type that in the chat. Ah, shit. I was typing, and it wasn't even on the chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why I oughta. People who are watching this later are going to be bored by this. Hey, dope. How are you, man? I started doing a video. I got these. I decided to do it live just so I don't have to like save the thing and do all that. But I got these prize packs, so I was gonna like do some pack rips. I was gonna show some other comics that I got, but I got a couple of these. I don't know if you've seen these. Hey, Big, how are you, man? So I'm gonna do some pack rips of these brides. I was just telling dope. I like they have these things like so there's like a golden ticket inside, and you can like if you pull a golden ticket, I mean it's obviously I'm not gonna pull a golden ticket, but if I did, it's like you could win one of these like big grail kind of books. Like you can win an amazing fantasy 15 and stuff. And he keeps like taking them off the board as people pull them. But the amazing fantasy 15 is still on there. So like I have two packs, so two chances probably not going to win, but they've got like some like rare variants in here and stuff. So I don't know. I figured I'd give it a shot. So, uh, yeah, I figured I'd do this live instead of creating a whole thing where it's going to be a 30-minute video that nobody watches. So, all right, let's open it. See what happens. And all right, let's see. Yo, Biggie, how are you? Let's see. Let's see if I win something big. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Let's see what happens here. There's no golden ticket in this. Wait, oh no, there's no golden ticket in here. But I got I got a Red Hulk #1. Kind of a cool cover. It's a um, who the hell did this one? Oh, Inyuk Lee did that one. That's cool. But yeah, I got it, and then got the Virgin edition too. That's really cool. That's a still Inyuk Lee, but that's a 1 in 1,000. I thought that's pretty cool. I don't know. And I actually got this one in another pack, but the Ultimate Wolverine #1, the trade dress. This is one of 1,500. So there are like several of these like different covers that you can get, and they're like different rarities and stuff. And he's got like a little chart here. Like some of them are like 1 in 25s and stuff. And I mean that part's kind of cool. But the really big thing is like if you could pull one of these golden tickets, and then you win like something really really big. But and this is the last pack I bought. So uh no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Let's see what we got. He did a really good job with this, by the way. I like Bryce Channel, man. I like the dude. I think he does a good job with what he does. But oh wow, this is kind of cool trade draws. No golden ticket. No golden ticket. But um got this Deadpool Wolverine, which I had doubles of this, and I just sent one to Big. He just opened it today on his channel, so that was really cool. But that's a 1 of 1,500. But yeah, cool cover. It's a Ivan Tao cover and a One World Under Doom Virgin 1 in 1,000. Cool cover. I pulled like a rarer variant of this on one of the other packs. And then it looks like I got a rare one here. Oh, I did. Holy shit. I got one of the super rare ones. Okay, I didn't get a golden ticket, but I got this is a one of 26. So only 26 copies of this one exist. So yeah, the sketch version for Ultimate Wolverine #1. So that's really cool. I mean, to have a comic where there's only like one of 26 copies. Yeah, that's pretty rare. So I'm pretty cool. I mean, it would have obviously been really cool if I live on air pulled out a golden ticket where I like win an Amazing Fantasy 15 or some shit. But that's yeah. I mean, that doesn't happen. But I had some other cool stuff that arrived over the past couple of days. But so Jenny Frison is coming to Chicago to C2E2. So I've been buying some Jenny Frison covers because I'm gonna have them signed. But like this cool like Vampirella foil. I'm gonna try to have her sign this while she's in town. And while I was looking at these, on eBay. Uh, I put in a bid on an auction, and there's this really cool Harley Quinn in a bathtub one that she has, but I got one. It's already signed. I won an auction, and I did not bid a lot on this. I don't remember what I bidded, but it was like it was not that much. So it's already signed by Jenny Frison, and it like what a cool cover that Harley cover is. Like, yeah, and like kind of the pink tub and stuff. Yeah, I like Jenny Frison a lot. Also, Dan Parent is going to be at C2E2 as well, and I'm going to try to get him to sign some stuff. So I've been trying to get some Dan Parent. Yo, Matt, how are you, man? But check out this Dan Parent Veronica. Like, she's like this demon Veronica diving in the hell pit foil. So I'm going to try to get Dan Parent to sign this while I'm there, and C2E2. It's like there are a few people that are going to be there that be doing signings. And the other thing I got, not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before on the Beyond Wednesdays show, they had this artist on called, her name is Suspira, and she's in Spain, and she's a former tattoo artist that started doing art, comic art, and it's really cool the stuff she does. And so I like scooped up some stuff. She's actually coming to a horror convention in Chicago that a friend of mine wanted to go to anyway. So I was like, I should scoop some comics and have her sign those. But like, this is her very first cover that she did. This the Me You Love in the Dark, and it's got this like this is a 1 of 500, and it's kind of got her thing on the back. So I'm gonna try to get her to sign this while I'm at there. But check this out. Check out this Vampira cover that she did. Tell me that isn't badass. Yeah, she's like a former tattoo artist, and she lives in Spain, and yeah, I mean, she's a smoke show too. I mean, I gotta admit, she really is. But I mean, these are really cool, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, totally new to me. I mean, I think maybe other people are familiar with her, but she hasn't been working in comics for all that long. She was working just as a tattoo artist, and sometime after COVID, she was talking about how she got sick. She had like a cancer scare, and she kind of like reevaluated what she was doing and decided to start doing comics. I guess her father was really into comic books, and it kind of inspired her to like start doing comic art. And I think she's going to be big, man. Like the stuff that I saw on the podcast on the cast that they did, a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was really, really good. And I think this stuff's good. And yeah, I'd like to get some signed in. And I think she could be one of those artists that like people really start talking about quite a bit. And how about my nemesis? I have 3 packages. I mean, does everybody want to hear me like bitch and complain on air? Is it like live? I guess I could do that, right? I mean, these look good though. These don't look like, it's not like Gong Show things where like that dude that sent it in just like the like the plastic. You just I don't even want to think about that. But anyway, I know what one of these is, and I don't remember what the rest of them are, but we'll just do the whole bit. Do the whole bit the way I do. Baby knife. Nice Gemini style package. Actually, looks really good. Fragile. Handle with care, thank you. Thank you. Come again. Cutting off the tape. Not too much tape. Good work. By the way, everybody has to go check out Big Nasty Comics. His most recent video, I sent him a package, and he does an imitation of me that is hilarious. And I was almost crying. I was laughing so hard at his his impersonation of me was spot on and really, really funny. So yeah, check out Big's new video, everybody. Like if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later, yeah, there's some tape. It's not bad. It's not like it's not mummied. It's not mummied in there, but they did tape, so let's get to work, baby knife. Let's hack this out of there. And tape together. Not too bad though. At least they put backer boards. It's like not the comics taped together, right? Where you gotta like worry about you're gonna cut a comic. But oh yeah, so I ordered this a long time ago, and actually earlier on Alan's stream, Steven was showing a bunch of Herculoids things, and it just happened that I had ordered one of these Herculoids. I loved the Herculoids as a kid, but I had ordered one of these like months ago, and it's like this Virgin trade dress. Steven showed this. Yo, JSS, how are you, man? You missed. I opened my Bryce packs. I didn't get a golden ticket, but I did get a cool rear variant. But yeah, this I loved the Herculoids, and this was one of the ones that Steven showed earlier, and I was like, I can't remember which one I got, but I was happy it was this, like the Virgin foil. Yeah, I remember as a kid, I loved this thing. I don't remember what its name is, but it's like a rhinoceros triceratops thing, but it's also a caterpillar too. It's like at the body of a big caterpillar with the head of a like rhinoceros triceratops thing, and it shoots these explosive rocks out of its horn. Like that is, in the 60s, I mean, what kind of drugs were you coming up with that helped you come up with the rhinoceros shooting exploding rocks? That's part caterpillar, but anyway, yeah, I'm glad that's the one that I got. Like I said, I ordered it months ago, so I as a pre-order. So here's another one from Comics and Cards. Again, packaged well. I don't think you're gonna get it, man. I don't think anybody's gonna get what you came here for. Nobody's gonna get me crying about packaging. I know that's what you paid admission for, was to see me whine and cry like a little girl with a skin knee. But I don't think it's gonna happen, guys. But yeah, it's kind of taped in there, but yeah, a little moisture barrier. It's like that's the whole thing. It's like, take it fucking seriously, man. Like, ship it the way that where you hope that it's going to arrive. It's like I always say, if you're a nerd about something, so like if you're a nerd about comics, then you should care about comics. Like you shouldn't be like totally like just tossing something in a paper envelope and throwing it in the ocean. Like, hope this message in a bottle gets to you. But yeah, I mean, this is really good. And, this is the last Suspiria thing that I ordered. I ordered 3 books. This is the last one to arrive. Oh, this one's really cool. Wait till you see this. Geez. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, really, really packaged. But I'm gonna have to cut it off here. Get to work, baby knife. Earn your keep. And there it is. Check this one out. So the same artist that I was talking about, the Suspiria, the tattoo artist that I saw on Beyond Wednesdays a couple weeks ago, that just like this past year or two got into comics. She did some of these, and I was able to get a few of them. And this is one of the newer ones. She did this this Red Sonia. But yeah, I mean, she's awesome. I really think like she's going to be one of those artists that people start to follow here coming up. I really do. And um yeah, and it was cool to have, kind of a long form interview. Like I always talk about that show. I know JSS watches it too, and I think he'll agree with me. It's really you get a lot of good information, but they've had um few people on, just kind of randomly. Like Mark Spears shows up all the time. Like he's I think he's friends with Brian on there, and just talks. I mean, talks about the industry, talks about his work and stuff. And the one episode they had not only Mark Spears, but I'm forgetting his name. Who's the guy that started Witchblade? Uh, does anybody remember what's the artist? The guy who started. Um, I'm I'm drawing a blank, but both of them were on together, and someone was mentioning, like, what would be cool is if Mark Spears, you know, did a Witchblade cover, and they said, well, uh, you might be jumping ahead of us. We're talking, so that might be something that happens. We might be able to see a Mark Spears Witchblade cover, which would be fantastic. And then last package I got is this monstrosity, but I can feel what this is. I don't remember what this is, but this is like multiple. No, not Michael Turner. Um, uh, I'll have to look it up. I'll have to. I'm going to be obsessed with it. No, no, no. The independent comic. Witchblade. I don't think Silvestri did it. That's not the name I'm thinking of. If it was. And yeah, I don't. Michael Michael Turner was not showing up on on Beyond Wednesdays. I can tell you. I mean, if he did, I mean, that would be a headline. I think if he showed up. Yeah, just it's fine. I don't. You know what? I do kind of think I know what this is. I ordered. So I've been talking about that Basket Full of Heads series. There was another series in that DC Black Label that I saw, that people were recommending, and I think that's what this is. It's one of these where, like, somebody was selling like the whole run of it, and it was like, I figure I put a bid in, and I did. And it's one of those where no one else bids, and I wound up winning the whole damn thing for like $9 or something like that. But let's see, I'm almost sure that's what it is. I just don't remember what it was called. Oh yeah, it's called The Last God. Which, I mean, it's DC, so I'm Matt probably knows this, but it's this DC Black Label, and it's The Last God. And it's the whole series, and the art looked really, really cool. And it's like a war between like different kinds of gods, and it was like animal gods and something else. I only vaguely remember the description of it. But it looked really cool and sounded really cool. And it's like, I'm so desperate to find stuff that I can like read. It's like I'm disappointed in almost everything when I try to read it. So it's like, I was so kind of inspired by Basket Full of Heads. I liked it so much, and I'm still reading it. I'm on issue like 3 or 4, and I still really like it. And I was like, well, maybe this is the key. Maybe if I go for something that's a little more mature or something, maybe that'll be kind of what I need to really, kind of, follow it and follow along. Like I've said, there are a handful of things that I've read that I really, really enjoy a lot. And everything else I hate, which it sounds terrible, especially after making such an inflammatory video about internet haters. But I guess the difference is I don't go on the internet and write about your comic book sucks and I hate you and I hate your comic book. I don't do that, but instead I just kind of just move on with my life and I don't read that anymore. But yeah, yeah. So that was the uh, the only other package I really have is this. But I'm really excited because I'm hoping that, like, if I don't like it, it was only $9. If I do like it, I have the whole series to read of this, and I'm hopeful that it was kind of like the yeah, Black Label, the other one, the Basketful of Heads, which I'm really enjoying right now, and um, it might be something where I'll start following the whole thing if I like this, or all the other Black Label titles. Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I think that was all I really had. But um, how was the I I'm I'm wondering how the most recent video was received. I kind of decided to go all in on it. The uh how yeah, haters are lazy and stupid. I thought the headline was going to be funny. And but I wasn't sure that, people sometimes, I mean, there are people who are more sensitive, maybe who don't really like it when you go in kind of both barrels on somebody on something, but I was yeah, I was inspired. I was like, like those guys are that if you haven't watched that Comics Den, um it's a huge channel. I had no idea. It's like they've got like 25,000 subscribers for a comic book channel. And it's not like they're not doing stuff like Swaggle House or something where it's like, like these big, kind of meta, big, production things. They're not doing that, but it's mostly just that they're a younger couple. I'd say they're probably in their mid 20s, and they kind of go to comic book conventions um yeah, they just seem like really nice people, and they either real excited by comics and they're excited by artwork, and they like to interview people, like, interview the artists and stuff. And like I would say it does feel a bit like they're, yeah, Comics Den. Yeah, I I think, they're also like they're learning too, which is kind of cool to see. Like they're like like they kind of have their wheelhouses. Like, like I know uh the girl's really into Vampirella and some stuff, and um, the guy, yeah, I'm forgetting their names. I just gotta say that I forgot their names. He's really into, like, more modern stuff, specifically Spider-Man. But they're both learning about like older keys. Yeah, Angelo and Sarah. That's exactly right. And but yeah, they just seem like they're really good people, and they seem like they're really nice, and they have great intentions, and they make these kind of cool videos, particularly about, yeah, sorry, this is bothering me, it's off kilter. um but about, they do these convention videos and stuff, and they kind of go around, and they just seem like, uh yeah, I don't know, well intentioned, and they were really excited to watch this Todd McFarlane talk, and I would be too. I like McFarlane personally. I know maybe some other people don't, but I was just kind of like, you know, and they're posting this, just to kind of show people. They're like, hey, here we are. We're in the front row, and we're able to film this, and kind of show people, and then to have people, like, in the comments, just like take a shit on it. It's like, come on, guys, like, what are you guys doing? Like this, it's like, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be like, you know, it's supposed to be something, where it's like, all right, if you don't like that guy, then you can move on to another video. You don't need to, like, make these silly comments. That was kind of what I was saying about it. And then or I was watching, and it was just kind of getting me, like, first it was kind of bumming me out, like, when I was reading these comments, and as I read more, I was getting pissed off about it. I was like, why are you ruining their time? Like, they like this, and they're trying to share it with other people who do. Like, okay, you don't like Todd McFarlane. Here's your ribbon. Okay, you win. Here's your award. But you don't have to say that. You don't have to jump in and try to shit on everybody else's good time. I mean, I don't know. I just see it a lot with, like, in comments and stuff, and I don't really get it. why people want to, try to ruin something for somebody else when they like that thing, it's and then on I mean, okay, if you package things badly, yes, all right, you deserve your time ruined. I'm kind of kidding. I'm half kidding when I say that. But like, it's like uh I don't know. I just, it kind of made me feel like I needed to, you know, jump on it and just say what I thought and then, kind of uh uh, you saw the rest. I don't know. But I after I posted it, I was like, "Oh man, is this gonna get me? Is this gonna get me into internet drama? Am I gonna get like, people like, bop, 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 like, hammering into their keyboard about, you know, their right to hate things and whatever. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know how it was gonna go. But on the other hand, I kind of didn't care. I was like, I was like bringing it on. Um, yeah, I don't know that was kind of my whole thing. I was just gonna rip the prize pack. Like the big hope was that I was gonna rip one of the prize packs and I was gonna have a golden ticket and here we were gonna have it live and that would have been kind of hilarious. But I knew that was probably not gonna happen. Um, but yeah, just open the other stuff and oh, I do have news. Uh I was talking about like the big kind of like grail comic that I was bidding on Comic Link and I lost. I did not get it and it was kind of a bummer because it was like the person who won, it was like less than $100 more than me and it was a Hulk 181 and uh yeah, I missed out. I didn't get it and it was yeah, it just sucked, I was just especially when I saw what it went for, but I'm confident that if I like that was my limit. That was where I was comfortable being on that specific comic, and I wasn't going to go above it. And but then to see it like go for like comparatively so little, I was I just the difference was so little that I kind of wished I pushed it a little bit more. But I guess that I'm pretty confident that person would have bid. However, um, it was one of my goals for this year. It's been one of my goals for years. If you guys don't know the story, when I was in the military, I sold off a Spider-Man 129 and I sold off a Hulk 181 in consecutive years to buy Christmas presents, and they were like of my collection from back then. They were like my two prized things, and I got ripped off, like totally ripped off by local comic shops. One of the reasons why now I'm so pro grading comics because I think they took advantage of me because like they knew more than I did when it came to grading back then. Um, and anyway, I was able to replace the Spider-Man 129. I've showed it on the channel, but I've not be able to replace the Hulk 181. And so yeah, I bid on the one on Comic Link. I lost out, and then I went on mycomicshop.com, and there were several of them. And early in the week, I made what I thought was a fair bid on one, and it was rejected. Um, and so I was like, man, I can make another bid, but no, that's really where I am on that. But I looked at another one, and I made again what I think was a fair bid. And hey Sam, how are you? I made a fair bid on a different one, and just a couple days ago it was accepted. And like the weird thing about it is like they wouldn't take a credit card for like because of the amount that the book was. So I had to wire transfer money. Like I've never done that. I've never wire transferred bank to bank money. I mean, that just sounds like something like millionaires do or something. But I had to do that today. I wire transferred the money to my comic shop, and um, yeah, I have a Hulk 181 coming, and I'll make a video about that. I'm gonna tell the whole story about selling those two comics and how it's taken me like 30 years 30 years to replace those two comics. And I yeah, so like it was yeah, big goal in collecting for me. And Yeah, thanks. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'll do that video and I'll tell the story and I'll kind of show both of the books. And I was also able to get them in better grades than I had from back then. If you haven't seen, like, I always keep the Spider-Man 129 right next to me. But yeah, it was like last year I was able to get a 129 and a 9.0. So yeah, which really nice grade for this book. And I think this could even be pressed. Like, I don't know that I have the balls to do it. I don't know if I have the balls to like break that out and send it to my dude Ron at Palm Beach Presser. But like when I look at it, there are some like non-color breaking like spine ticks, and there's like even like a little bit of a like slight crease and stuff. Like I wonder if I could get that to a 9.2 or 9.4. But um I don't know. I mean, it's so great at what it is, um but yeah, the 181, it's the yeah, it's it's big. And was um I was a bit sick to my stomach to make the bid, to be honest. But it's something, yeah, again, took me 30 years to get to the into a position where I could get, where that book. So yeah, that's kind of how that is, and that'll be upcoming. And I did put a bid on another book. It's not nearly as expensive as the Hulk 181, but it's not inexpensive. But it's another one of my Grail comics. Like I had like on my like to-do list for this year, I wanted to acquire uh like at least two of the comics that I consider on my list to be Grails. I don't know that the person's going to like it's kind of a lowball offer that I put in, but I think it's a fair offer. I think they're way, way high on what they're asking. This is on Collectors Comics. Um, the comic investor, I think it is his channel. Um, oh, my Grails. This is kind of so my number one Grail is a comic I'll never get it. I'll never get it. I know it. It's way too high. It's um um what can I think of it? It's um I can see the cover in my head. I swear I'm getting Alzheimer's, man. Like I thought it was just uh I thought it was just when I was on cold medicine. But yeah, I swear to God, it's a Punch Comics number 12 with the skull. With the people like shooting at each other out of the skull. But it's so rare and so old, and I mean it's like 1948 or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like anytime I've ever seen it come up, it's like 20,000, 60,000, $200,000. I mean, it's not touchable, I don't think. But like second on that list is Black Cat 50, with the guy with the radium rod with his face melting off. That's my that's like my number two. And even that, like I see one is up for sale right now on Collector Comics. It's a point five with detached cover and um what do they call uh like the page quality, it's awful. And they're asking like $5,000 for like the crappiest comic that you would never want. It's going to turn to dust in the slab. So yeah, it's probably another one that, I mean, unless I somehow got lucky or something, that's another one that I'm not going to touch. Um, uh, and yeah, the Hulk 181, which finally I'm getting, that's been a grail for like 30 years for me since I sold mine. So that one I was able to cross off the list. But there are two Chamber of Chills that are on my list. One is the kind of classic, the Misfits cover, where it's like the girl, holding it like the wine glass, where like part of her face is the skeleton. I don't remember which number that is. I think I have it on somewhere. I think it's 19. Chamber of Chills 19. And then the other Chamber of Chills is 23, with the girl like kissing the guy, and he's like turning into the zombie and his face is rotting off as she's kissing him. That's one. The All American Comic 61 for Solomon Grundy. That's another one I'm probably not ever going to be able to touch. War Fury #1 is up there. Uh, another one. Yeah, Phantom Lady 16. That's another one. I'm never gonna get the Matt Baker cover with like the super hot version of Phantom Lady with like the headlights, and like I'll never touch that comic. Most likely, unless I uh, come across it in a barn or something. Or what else? What else? Uh, then there are some that I think are achievable. There's like I want to complete the Witch's Tales run. I have about half of it, and I have the hardest one to get, which is boom boom right here, the head and the bell cover. That's the hardest one. The other one that's a little bit difficult is like the skeleton driver, but I have most of the hard ones to get at a Witch's Tales. So I want to complete that run. Um, I really would like to get Famous Funnies 13 Frazetta cover, that the I think it's the first Frazetta. Another one that's hard. Yeah, these things are just like, I mean, it's kind of silly. But I do want to get a DNA Agents 24 too. That one's reasonable. It's just people are just ask so much for it. It's the Dave Stevens. It's kind of like uh, this right here. I don't have that. I would like to get that. But it's like anytime I've bid on it, what I think is reasonable, it's like somebody will pay like $450. I'm not paying $450 for that comic. It's not that much of a key. It's just cool. So yeah, those are. But Punch 12 would be the big one, and then Black Cat 50 would be the other one. Punch 12 I'll never get. Black Cat 50, if I get it, it's going to be such a low grade. I don't know, but the two Chamber of Chills are possible, I think, and some of the other ones. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's just going to be one of these long term things that eventually someday maybe maybe you just kind of get lucky and you win an auction for one of these things. But for right now, I think I have the things that I've really been looking for a long time. I was able to finally get the 129, finally get the 181 just 2 days ago. They accepted my offer on that one, so that'll be like next week. I'll actually have it, and that's like a huge thing to be. Yeah, like I said, waiting like literally 30 years. I sold mine, so that's big. And then, yeah, if I could get this Chamber of Chills too, I let the cat out of the bag. I didn't mention what I was bidding on, but the one I'm bidding on is the um, yeah 23, the one with the rotting, where she's like kissing the rotting guy. It's not a high grade; it's only a 2.0, but it's still yeah. I put in what I think is a fair bid on that, and the person is asking a lot. It's on, yeah, like I said, Collectors Comics, the auction site, but it's on consignment. Um, they were asking what I think is a lot. I put in kind of a lowball bid, and I've kind of come up a little bit, but I just put in the bid. And I said to the person, "Look, this is as high as I'm willing to go. I understand if you don't want to accept it, but I think it's fair." And we'll see. I don't know how motivated they are to sell the thing. It's considerably less than what they're asking, but I think mine is more in line with the fair market value. And it's a low grade. I mean, it's a 2.0. It's not. I mean, most of my Golden Age horse stuff is a lower grade, but that's kind of like for some of that stuff, it's like that's just how it goes. I mean, unless you're willing to pony up tens of thousands of dollars, you're kind of like, that's what you're getting. And I still think it's fantastic as long as the cover looks good and it's attached and it's complete. And I think they're cover buys. It's like, you're not really. I mean, if you want to read Golden Age horror, you can easily buy these these EC archives, and you can read these comics very easily. But but it's for the actual comics themselves. It's like they're so fragile and they're so old. It's you're it's not for sitting on the toilet and reading. It's to preserve and keep it like and show it when you're able to. That's kind of how I see those. So yeah, yeah. If I'm able to get something that presents well and looks good and is complete, it's not missing anything and it's attached. That's all I care about. So yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. The war books are cool. There are some of the war books that are expensive too. Like I have War Fury number two, I think, but War Fury number one is kind of the big one. Um, that's the one. Like if you look above me, the um, man, I'm bad at that. I can never do this backward, but the horrific, um, where it's the recycled artwork, like this head with the bullet hole in it is one of the dead troops on War Fury number one. He's like laying backward with his head, uh, cocked back with a bullet hole, and they just took that guy's head from War Fury number one and just like did like a cutout of it and created horrific. I think it's horrific number four. Uh, so yeah, that one's kind of expensive, but yeah, a lot of the war comics are really reasonable, and there are some really cool ones too. There are like some really like real brutal ones, but yeah, yeah, the Warfare number two or three, the one I have, I have to dig it out, but it's like a medic treating it like a GI, and it's like the North Korean troops. It's like around the time of the Korean War are like surrounding them and about to like storm into their foxhole while the medic is treating the guy. That's a cool one. But yeah, number one, Warfare number one is the big one. Um, Another one that's on my list that I would like to get someday. Um, yeah, I uh that yeah, those are kind of the ones that I'm really I would love to get. There are some other ones too, like that are less grails, but still like kind of on my list. Uh I'd like to get the first Poison Ivy. I've bid on it a few times, but I've always been outbid. First Harley Quinn, I'd like to get that, and those are more reasonable. New Mutants '98, I'd like to get a copy of that with Deadpool. It's just I for those I have a hard time spending what people want for those. Uh at least right now, I kind of with with Deadpool, I keep thinking that it's going to come down, and it hasn't. I thought like as the movie hype dissipated, that book would come down, and it's really not. It's kind of maintaining. But I think as a long term comic, I don't think Deadpool is going to go away. I think Marvel made a shit ton of money with those Deadpool movies, and I think in the new MCU, I like why would you not have him play a prominent role and more of the kind of the Deadpool universe, Deadpool Wolverine kind of thing? Why would you not when that's like the only movie you've made in the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that made any money whatsoever? It's like, yeah, you got to go back to that well, and and yeah, I mean, and it's like one of the only characters um that in Wolverine. That's one of the only ones that's really kind of holding up right now. I mean, they're not doing a good job with the other stuff. They keep trying to revise and redo, and it doesn't seem to be working. Um, Even though I mean, some of them they're really keeping with like comics canon. Not all of them. Not all of them. Let's be honest. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing that's just stupid. But like, um, it's just doesn't seem to be what people want. People like the OG characters, and they're not liking a lot of these kind of new revised versions. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with all that, but uh, Fantastic Four will be interesting to see how that breaks. Uh, I mean, the cast seems good, and it seems like they have an idea of what they want to do with it, and if the rumors hold up that it's like Galactus is searching for Franklin Richards, like that. If that rumor turns out to be true, and that leads to like a more expanded universe where like the Fantastic Four and Franklin Richards, these pocket universes, and Galactus, like they start becoming like bigger roles. I think that'll be pretty interesting if they do that. Um, I haven't really liked the previews that we've seen so far, but I do like that direction if they go that way. Um, yeah, particularly if Franklin Richards plays a prominent role going forward, that would be something that I think would be cool, and particularly if Galactus uh, becomes one of the big bads going forward. I think everybody likes Galactus, right? I mean, I don't know, like Doom. Everybody loves Doom, so that part I think is going to go well. If they do it well, I think people like Doctor Doom, so that's going to go well. And and I think people like Galactus too. I mean, he's interesting character and always been kind of the center of a lot of like the cool cosmic kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, knowing Marvel and Disney, they're gonna fuck it up, right? I mean, they're gonna find a way to fuck up a good story. I mean, they're gonna insert something silly, and everybody's gonna shake their head and be like, "Oh man." Uh, I'm hopeful though. I hope they can get it back on track because I like watching fun movies, and I don't like uh, the way the movies have gone in recent years. Like I think most people are kind of on that. Um, I'm really hopeful for DC too, man. Like like DC did like some of the DC Universe movies were underrated, and if the Supergirl movie, if this goes well with Jason Momoa as Lobo, like I think that could break big, man. Like I think Lobo is a character that's far overdue to be on screen. And if you can do it in a way where he's really cool and really funny and really violent and kind of dark, like I think that could be really fun. And yeah, I mean, if Supergirl is well done, I think that could be a real fun movie. I'm hopeful. Again, I hope Supergirl goes well. Superman movie, it might be okay. I mean, I like some of the stuff about it, but um I'm undecided, I guess, on that. But I've liked what James Gunn has done in the past, and yeah, I hope he can kind of pull it all together. And yeah, I hope it can be. I hope there's some surprises, like characters maybe that you're not expecting. I mean, Metamorpho is already kind of cool. That Metamorpho is going to be in it. Like that's a cool character that I think people like, and have been waiting to see on screen. I hope they do it well. I hope it's fun. I hope it's funny, and it's not just uh, I don't know, overly gritty and not fun. I think if they have fun with it the way James Gunn has done with some of the other movies, like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, I think it could be really good. So I guess we'll see. Yeah, I know that's a bit of rambling there about stuff, but when it's in this format, when I can't invite anybody to jump in on this, I don't have it on the Streamyard. Um, I don't know, what movies are you guys looking forward to? Is anybody looking forward to any of these? Like, am I alone? Like looking forward to like Supergirl and um uh, I'm hopeful about Fantastic Four. I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm hopeful that they do Fantastic Four well. Is it? Am I like Lobo? Lobo's got to be cool, right? I mean, how do you fuck up Lobo? He's gotta. They have to do that well, right? Is it? It's gonna be hard. It'd be hard to. And Jason Momoa is cool, and he looks exactly like Lobo. I think it's gotta work, right? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone from the class? Is anybody still around? It's showing me like 4 people are still online. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Thunder Farts, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. They did fuck up Lobo in the first X-Men. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, and Green Lantern. They did, you know. Yeah, there are certain certain things they screwed up. And they're I just hope they don't screw up Lobo. Like that would be it would be a bummer just because I've been waiting. Like it's one of the only kind of like one of the best anti-hero type uh um characters in DC, and one of, I think, the funniest and the most enjoyable to watch, the different interactions. Um yeah, and I hope they don't go like overly PC with it. Like I hope they make him exactly what he is, just like, yeah, rude and kind of crude and violent and you know kind of dark. Like I hope they stick with that. This murderous, womanizing, you know, just gruff drinking, space biker or whatever. I hope they do that. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably wrap this up now. Um yeah, I don't know. Thanks everybody for stopping by. And um anybody have anything else? Anything else you want to bring up and talk about? Any rotten tomatoes to throw at me before I go off the stream here? Um yeah, didn't get a golden ticket, but still had some cool books and was able to show everybody Suspiria, who I think people are gonna really like her. I really like her art a lot. So I'm really glad to have kind of discovered that. And then yeah, looking forward to reading this The Last God. I'm hopeful about that. But yeah. Um yeah, thank you guys. Thanks Big, thanks Sam. Saw Biggie stop by. Thanks Biggie, thanks Matt, thanks JSS. Um I saw Crom was here. Thank you, Crom. Saw Dope was here. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Yeah, I just wrap it the way I always do. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend's going well. I hope all the people in your life are doing well. And yeah, I hope um uh, yeah, hope your coming week goes well and you get cool comics and you're able to read cool stuff. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you, buddies. This is Mike Chanko, and I'm out. Good night.